Choosing between two evils, you're still choosing evil. World War II ended 80 years ago, and we're still talking about Hitler. Why is it so hard to believe in a resurrection when some paths of thinking just won't die? Most of us don't live our lives that way. If we survive into adulthood, get an education, a job, get married, and everything else in between, then we have to find our car keys and find a parking place. Being human isn't rocket science. Vicky Curtis once said that in church we have the stained glass and the organ because they take us out of our regular dimension. I don't think Vicky even liked the stained glass or the organ, but it served a purpose and gets us somewhere. That's all that matters. Welcome. Welcome to Sunday Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith. At Sunday Coffee Hour, we talk about everything and nothing. This Sunday, we talked about typhoid, sickness and distress, translations, and critical thinking. The readings at Washington National Cathedral were from Exodus. We're a stiff necked people. And from Timothy, I was once a blasphemer, a sinner, and full of anger. The gospel reading was from Luke. It was the parable of the lost coin and the lost sheep. The sermon at Washington National Cathedral was by Jan Cope. Jan preached about getting lost in the woods in the days before the cell phone and GPS. It's frightening. Her husband had told her, if you ever get lost to head downhill, you're likely to run into a road, stream, or path. Jan said we all need to head downhill now and tone down all the toxic political rhetoric so we can find a path out of this mess. The parable of the lost sheep reminds us that God is always pursuing us, no matter how far off course we wander. It helps if we want to be found. Jan told a story about a political writer who took a break from writing about that topic after the death of his brother from cancer. He wanted to restore his soul by being surrounded by beauty. So he got a job as a security guard at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, surrounded by the beauty of art. What he also found there were other people like him, heading downhill with the same problems, issues, and concerns that many people have. No one is completely immune to being lost. It helps to want to be found. Search for beauty wherever you are. Head downhill. Find a path, a stream, or a road. Follow that and let yourself be found. At St. James, the sermon was by Lisa Hackney James. Lisa preached about the lost. She said, with everything going on, we don't even know who the lost are anymore. When we get to heaven and encounter God's perfect reality, we'll find out what we were right about and what we were wrong about, even Charlie Kirk. Pain and suffering are non-negotiable in this life. Being angry and bitter are. We're trying to grasp things beyond our reach while we really need to find our car keys and the lost remote control to the television set. Focus on things you can find, accomplish, and change. Amy Jill Levin said, in the time of Jesus, the Jews would never have equated God with the Good Shepherd because God doesn't lose things. We do. Maybe we're praying to God to help us find a parking place when there was one there all the time. Perhaps we're going through the 5 stages of grief for things we didn't need to be concerned with or that didn't need to be fixed. Grieving for postmodernism with denial, anger, bargaining, and depression. And with God's help, hopefully we'll arrive at a stage of acceptance without the anger and bitterness. As we move on, we can make life better or bitter. We might be the lost. We don't need to be found by God. We just have to see that we're on the wrong path. Some people think that we're in a movie. Some call it a timeline or a narrative. We used to call it a life, our life, and we tried to live it in a respectful way toward others. John Boyle said that when you try to include everyone, someone is always excluded. We were trying really, really hard to include everyone, and it just didn't work out. Telling people to move on and let it go is kind of dismissive, but that's kind of where we are right now. John Buchanan said we have a limited capacity to get over things, but I don't think that's altogether true. We've been through a lot and we found a new way, a new path, and a new scene. And suddenly life seems to begin all over again. Watch for it to happen. Look for something really good. Focus hard on that. Let it burn into your brain and it will change you. Live into that. Believing in God is not rocket science. We're all a little broken, and that's how God keeps us coming back to Him. The prodigal son was not the one who ran away and returned. It's the other son who failed to welcome him home. Rejoice in everyone's return, especially your own. If you would like to join us at Sunday Coffee Hour is every Sunday at 12 noon Central Time on Zoom. I will include my email in the description of this video. Be happy to send you an invitation. I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.